Hello, everyone. Happy Motivational Monday. My name is Kira. I am your host, and I am so excited for today's session. We have one of our guides here, and I will give her an introduction in just a moment. As per usual, I have some announcements and kind of just like all the things happening with life guides. A lot of you are trickling in. Today's conversation is specifically about the freedom that comes with forgiveness. So, this month, we just started our Leading in Love series. Every event we do that I'm hosting with Life Guides is based on our Leading in Love series. And what this is it is literally teaching you how to be the pioneer of healthy and thriving relationships in our lives. And the reason why is because there's so much responsibility that comes onto us for the relationships that we have and the health of them. But a lot of us haven't been taught those skill sets. And one of the things that either Brene Brown or Esther Perel said, they're both phenomenal if you're looking to grow in your relational skills and your communication skills and your vulnerability and your connection and the whole thing. Um, this is a scale, right? If you take some weight off of one side of the scale, the other one naturally has to balance. So I know sometimes we struggle with people or we feel like we want people to do things differently, but a lot of it can start with you. And so this month is all about self-love. Next month is all about interpersonal relationships, so friends, lovers, and family. And then September, we're talking all about professional relationships. So we're really diving in. And you guys request this over and over and over. And it's really cool because last series was rooted in well-being. We saw the least amount of growth in our emotional well-being month, and I'm very confident that it's because we've done so much emotional well-being work. We've talked about emotional intelligence, we've talked about boundaries, we've talked about vulnerability and all of this. So, to see that, yeah, 75% of us grew, but also a lot of us started in a really good place. That was such a good foundation to get started in our Leading in Love series. So, okay, two more announcements and then we're getting started. Actually, while I'm announcing, I want to know. So, I did a custom event this past week and our guide who did the event with me, she asked this question and I'm probably going to ask you guys this question so often. I might have two questions for you, but the first question is, why are you here? Why did you come to this session? What's motivating you? Drop it in the chat. Let us know. Are you learning to embrace forgiveness? Do you not feel freedom in your relationships? Do you struggle sometimes with holding a grudge? Do you struggle with other people holding a grudge against you? What is it that inspired you to be on this call? I'm very, very intrigued. And there better be responses in the chat. Because some of you, there we go. I know that Ty is always in the chat. I know that Gabrielle is always in the chat. There are a few of you. There we go. There's Ty. I love it. Yeah, Crystal says, you guys, I pay attention to you. I see who's responding to the surveys. I see who's in the chat. I see who's regularly here. I might not always call out your names, but trust me, I am paying attention to you, and you all are getting gold stars from Kira all week, forever and ever. If you just have like this random feeling throughout the week of just like peace and optimism, it's probably me being like, I love you. So the second question before I love this in the chat. The second question before we dive in, because this is really important, and I forgot to ask it last week. When was the last time you told yourself that you love yourself? Because this is self-love month. If you're not telling yourself that you love yourself, if you don't have your own self-love, first and foremost, that's great and okay. But secondly, we're going to teach you how to do it right. Okay, let's hear what you all are saying in the chat, and then I'm going to introduce Luz, and then we're going to start the conversation. So yeah, a lot of you are looking to grow, some motivation. We have some new hires. Yay! Struggle with negative self-talk and setting boundaries. I love that. We do have a boundary call that's upcoming this month as well. I'm learning to forgive coworkers. Get it, Tasha? That's amazing. I want to be a better person to myself and those that I love. I'm here to provoke thought. Um, you all are great because I need peace. You all are so sweet. Okay, cool. We got a lot of nevers in the chat. Ty's like, I told myself last week that I love myself. That's because you've been here for a while. You already know the deal. Um, Yeah, a lot of you have never told yourself that you love yourself. Some of you literally did yesterday and you did a pamper day for yourself. So it's going to be weird at first, and we're going to end this session with telling ourselves we love ourselves. But even right now, tell yourself that you love yourself. Just be like, "Okay, I love you, Kira. I love you, Ty. I love you, Gabrielle. If I say your name over and over, it's because you're here all the time and you deserve to be recognized." But yeah, just like Lou said in the chat, it's never too late and you can start now. And trust me, you, it's going to be weird and hard at first. And it's going to feel awkward and you're not going to know what to do. But what happens when you do start telling yourself you love yourself is you know your standards, you know your boundaries, you know your vulnerabilities, you can communicate clearer, you hold yourself differently. You walk through the world differently. People can no longer take advantage of you. And it's not something that's going to happen. You're not going to tell yourself you love yourself once today, and tomorrow your world's going to be wildly, radically different. But yeah, Luz is like, yeah, girl, it takes work. But it take like these are all things that you can cultivate over time. So with all that being said, please tell yourself that you love yourself. You can even put it in the chat. Actually, I'll do it too. I love you, Kira. We're so cute. Okay, cool. Yay! Aw, Luz goes, I love you too. Stop it. This is so cute. Okay, well, I have a whole new beautiful human to introduce to Motivational Monday. If you all were on our Connect series last month, you already have had an introduction to her. And what did we talk about? We talked about emotional well-being overall, in general, and what it looks to advocate for yourself. So, with all that being said, Luz is a life guide focused on well being and natural disaster recovery. She's also Puerto Rican. She was in Hurricane Maria. I'm also Puerto Rican, but I was in Hurricane Helene. So we just have all these wild synchronicities. But she has a background as a Reiki practitioner and life coach. She finds joy in helping others learn about their own healing powers and guide them to support themselves using self compassion, Reiki techniques combined with breath work, tapping, and among others for a daily sense of well being. So, that all is incredibly important because I don't know if you all know how Life Guides works, but we have our events, which are more of our group sessions. And then we have our one on one calls that you can book a session with a guide and have a one on one personalized journey towards whatever level of self care or well being or professional development you're looking to develop. So, I just dropped Luz's link in the chat. And you can book a call directly with her. So if you're really inspired during this call and you're like, I feel like this wonderful woman could help me navigate places that maybe I'm afraid of, because I read all the surveys. Some of you don't even book your first call because you're afraid of what's going to happen when you open that door. And Luz and I both know what that feels like to be afraid of what happens before you start your healing and what happens like when you open those floodgates. But even that is a beautiful place to start the conversation about forgiveness. So before we dive in and before I ask you all of the questions, Luz, can you give us just maybe a slight introduction to yourself and the topic for today?
Ooh, that's always a tough one. Thank you for having me, Kira. You guys are awesome. Bring fear with you. If you've had seen a coach that you want to talk to and you've had something, a little tingling inside you that tells you to make that call, bring fear. We'll talk to fear too. It's all good. I'm scared right now, okay? So so we got this. We just get this together.
Mm.
I am still on my healing journey, like most of us. The healing journey is an everyday thing. It's like Kira said, it's not something you're gonna get today and phew. And I forget to tell myself I love me sometimes. And the days I'm feeling the worst, I look myself in the mirror and that just make me smile. I love you. I love you, kid. We're doing good. We're gonna be all right. Because there's so much going on. It's kind of hard. And especially when you make a disastrous mistake and you're trying to figure out a way to bring that forgiveness around. And we all know forgiveness is important, it's good. We forgive the other person, we let them go just so they return that power to us. Because while we're not forgiving, we're just holding on to that past, to that mistake. And it's great. It just feels like something leafy, like it's a big weight that gets off of you when you say, I forgive you, get out of my face. I mean, you're free. Live in peace. God bless you. That's the most important, right? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Just go away. So
Yeah.
it's but how often do we remember to say that to ourselves? How often anybody's help. So nobody ever told me to forgive myself for the mistakes I made. And I carry stuff for years, for a lot of years. And I didn't really start to heal till I actually start to forgive, let go, and then come back to me. I forgive me too. If you're not here to forgive me now because you're gone or I don't talk to you anymore, I forgive me too. And I set myself free because I'm not that person anymore. And the
Mm,
more you continue to keep berating yourself or thinking negatively about the I should have, I could have, but didn't, the more you drag yourself into that spot. And you're not that person anymore. You learn, you grow, grow, self forgiveness, finding self compassion. It's awesome and it's freeing. And that's what we're here to talk about. Hopefully, I
mm.
didn't answer all the questions already.
No, what a good, such a good starting point because there's so much to work through from that. And I think one thing, and in general, self-forgiveness is really important for acknowledging, yeah, like we are human. We are going to make
Yeah.
mistakes. We are still
Yeah.
learning and we are still growing. I don't care if you're an adult. I don't care if you're like a 19-year-old at a new job and you're like, I'm just learning life. Or if you're like a grandparent
Yeah.
and you're like, dang, I'm just learning this now. Wherever you are in your life, you're still learning and you're still
Mhm.
growing. And the one thing that you said that I think a lot of people might judge themselves the most for is that I forgive you, but get out of my life. Because there are like even people who have wronged us. You can't
Mhm.
like you can absolutely you can hold on to that anger and you can hold on to that resentment for the rest of your life. But
Yeah.
who is that benefiting? Who's that
Nobody.
helping? Exactly. It's not helping
Nobody.
anyone. So there is the power of forgiveness sets you free and it lets you
Mhm.
have peace in your life in places where people can't take your peace anymore. And that's the power of
Right.
forgiveness. And just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you don't need to have them in your, or just doesn't
Right.
mean you need to have them in your life. I
Yes.
have friends. I went through a friendship revolution, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago. I don't even know what's,
That sounds cool.
but there was a friend that, yeah, we just went through some stuff and I tried to be vulnerable and have conversations with her. And by the end of it, I was like, you know what? It's not working. And I could have been mad at her for not acknowledging me or any of these things, but I'm like, I forgive you. You're doing your best. You are not the type of person that I want in my life anymore. I've outgrown this friendship,
Mhm.
but I wish you the best. And even to this day, I still wish her the best. So I wanted to thank you for planting that seed for that little part of the conversation because that's really important. And I think now even deeper when we're starting to talk about self-forgiveness for the things that we do, what is the main point of forgiving ourselves?
Okay.
And then, okay, we understand why, but then how the heck do we get there?
Lots of love and patience is how we get there. And it's not easy. I sometimes have my daughter call me out on that. Like, Mom, it's okay. Let it go. She's 12. So uh, the point really is to find that it's kind of like calling those parts of you that are just scattered because when something happened, especially if it's you that did that, it's like something explode and goes out. Like that's how, at least that's how I visualize anger. Or when I get upset, it feels like something broke off. And then that part off you is something you can reclaim. If you leave it out there, sometimes you feel like you're not yourself fully or like you're scattered. It's all those pieces of energy that are out there. Um, Something that you brought up about us that not benefiting anybody is kind of like when people is thinking about resentment or anger, it's like towards somebody or towards something that you can't do anything about it. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So it's just polluting yourself. I don't know who said that. I know it's not an original. I'm sorry, but I can't remember who actually said it. I wish I had because it makes sense. You're angry towards this person because they did something to you ages ago. First of all, by this point, you hope that person are not them anymore. Like they're not who did that to you at this point. And second of all, they don't know they're living their life happily ever after. And you're over here torturing yourself, churning. That is the point of forgiveness. The same thing for yourself. For yourself is more in the sense of, like I said before, the more you feed this negative energy onto you, the more you ground yourself in the past. And we don't want to go back there. We learn, we already lived that. And by now, if we feel bad about that moment, it's because we're not the person that would do that again. We're the person that learned from that or that is reflecting on, dang, I was so mad, I should have not said that, or I was out of line, or it was a quick thing I wasn't thinking, because it happens. It's like your soul is like, all right, gotta go. You're not in the right spot. Do whatever, and then we regret it. And so, in getting to that point where you look at this situation, sometimes it helps to look at it like it's a friend telling you, dang, this happened and I did this. Would you go over there and be like, oh, well, you're such a dummy? Like, why would you do that? Like this, that's not what you do to a friend. And you're supposed to be your very best friend. You're the person you're going to have till the end of your life. And that's what we're supposed to be. Yes, loving, caring. And if you forgive a friend for doing something to you, why would you not forgive yourself for making a mistake? Is that release is, I think, is double. That when you forgive someone else, when you forgive yourself, that is, it changes your complete perspective, because you are giving yourself permission to be valuable. You're giving yourself permission to be yourself, because you're going to make mistakes. And if you're holding on to those mistakes, you kind of hesitate towards doing something, because what if I do that again? No, you're not. You're ready to learn. You're not going to do that again. You're smart. You're brilliant. This is a new person already. Like every 72 hours, you're a different person. So that's
Tell
just
me about it.
that's just it. So I don't know. Did I answer your question?
No, that
I
is
guess.
so perfect. And I
I
think
get
you
excited.
brought up a point that I at one point thought about mentioning, and it is, and sometimes you just like, this can be a cliche what I'm about to say, but sometimes we need to hear things over and over and over for it
Yeah.
to click, and maybe different voices in different ways. But if your friend came to you, kind of like what Liz was saying, if your friend came to you and was like, I did this and I don't know, I hate myself. I can't believe I did that. I'll never
Mhm.
forgive myself. Who does that? Why did I do that? I'm such a bad person. Blah, 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 blah. You know the
Right.
spiral.
Exactly.
What would you say to your friend? Would you say to your friend, yeah, you're right.
I
You're a
agree
bad
with
person. Unless
you.
they're like genuinely a bad person and need to go away, you shouldn't have them in your life anyway. But if they're a friend that you love, you wouldn't be like, yeah, you know what? You really suck and you need to reevaluate everything about yourself because you just
Right.
don't get it. You would probably be like, you know what? It's okay. And I know it feels really big to
Mhm.
you right now, but who's going to remember this in 48 hours? And this is something I ask myself, especially when it comes to forgiveness. And I love that we get to have these conversations because I'm reminding myself right now.
Me too.
Is it going to matter 5 years from now? Is
Mhm.
the situation going to matter 5 years from now? Is anyone going to remember? Is anyone even going to remember next week? But sometimes,
Right.
like zooming out and giving ourselves that really big, you can't see my arms, but like giving yourself that really big perspective helps you see that, like, sometimes, yeah, we are the main character of our own show. The world revolves around us. It feels so big, but in
Mhm.
everyone else's show,
Right.
we're like side characters. We're like an extra. We don't really matter that much, so we can be easier on ourselves.
Right.
So, with that, we have a Q&A in probably 5 or 6 minutes. So if you have questions that you want to put in the chat, put it in the Q&A and we can answer them at the end. But I think the next question I want to go to is, how would you suggest that we begin forgiving ourselves?
There's many ways of doing this. And really, the easiest way is to just do it. Today, just say, I forgive you. Whatever you've done in the past, that is, it doesn't have to be, the most important part about forgiveness and letting go is that this situation doesn't have to be clear, embedded in your mind. Anything that you feel guilty about, I am sorry, I did that, I forgive you. You're not that person anymore. We learn, we are better. Because even if you don't remember what you did, like you cut somebody off and you didn't even know you did it, that stays in you. That kind of that kind of suggestion, that kind of thing, I forgive you, I love you, just makes that a difference in your day. At the end of your day, I forgive you for whatever I did. But my favorite way to do this, if I have something that is nagging me in my head, is write me a letter. And so I think about the situation and from a general perspective, not detail and not judgmental. This is what happened. That's point A. This is why I did it, because sometimes you know why you did it. You know that you didn't have enough information, you were hungry, uh, you felt lonely, you were upset, whatever the reason. This person had done this before, and I thought that's where they were coming from. That kind of stuff, something very general. And why or how would you make sure you don't do that again? And then you can write yourself a sentence about that, just or a let or full letter. Dear Luz, today you yell at the car going by you. That's not what you do. But you were hungry, you were late, and everything was spiraling, and you got angry. Send that blessing to that car. Next time, I'll make sure I have a snack. I make sure I leave it more time. Will I do this again? That kind of stuff, maybe. But would I be so upset and beat myself over it? No. Do you forgive yourself? Will you do it again? Would you please forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. That's the important part. You can't leave that question open.
Mm.
But also, you can call a friend and be like, hey, I did this today. Just send them a message. Okay, I'm going to have a spill with you, and I'm going to ask you at the end if you will forgive me. And then that will help open that. They're going to be like, you're so silly. Of course, I forgive you. Hopefully, if you have good friends.
If you don't have
If
good
not,
friends,
you
get a
might want to
guide.
reconsider.
For real. If you don't have good friends who will do that,
That's
get a
true.
guide. We have
Yes,
one for
and
you.
you know what has helped me with it when I call the guys, that they are not in my surrounding space. They're not with me every day, and I don't feel like by talking to them, I'm nagging them or spending their energy. That's what they want to do. That's why we're here. That's why we do it. And it's to me is great that when people call and I'm able to just give them a little perspective from my side of the fence that is not firm to them,
So, what would you
from my perspective.
do after? So, I know you talked about what it looks like if things are nagging and writing
Hmm.
that letter. What happens if we write ourselves that letter and we forgive ourselves and then the next day we wake up and we still feel bad about it? Is it
Call
is
your
it
guys.
continually, I know, right? Call me. I'm here for you. Which
Call
it
me.
could that
Yes.
could very easily be the answer, but I
Hmm.
think the biggest thing that I want to get out of this is like how to stop that spiral of, oh my God, I tried it yesterday, it doesn't work. I'm such a bad person. It's a
Yes.
new day. I feel bad. Like what
Mhm.
what would you suggest? And just so you know, there's nothing in the Q&A. If you all do have questions, put it in the Q&A or we'll just keep talking for the next like 3 minutes before I start closing us out. So if you would like support, we're here for you. But yeah, go ahead. Give us your magic for that answer.
Yes. To me, that is the important thing is like that letter, you can probably read it to yourself every day for the next 7 days, just so you can beat it out of your system, and give you a Epsom salt bath, get that ready. There's an app on tapping, and they already have, I think I always forget the name, tapping solution maybe. They have scripts already for that. The app is free. You can go in there, you can start the script, and you can use their script to create your own, just so you have an idea and where to tap. You tap on your hand to bring out the problem. You can use those same questions. Okay, I know I did this thing right now. I think I suck, but I still love and respect myself. Life is better every time I do this. I still love and forget myself. I am sorry I did this. Da da da, and you can follow all your little tapping points. Tapping just for those who don't know, I feel like it's everywhere right now, but it just activates your meridians to releasing the energy that you have stuck somewhere, and you'll go to your main points on your meridians and let it, go at it down here too, and on your chest. I like to do the timeless gland and my solar plexus because the solar plexus holds a lot of anger, and you can just
Mm,
help release in your adrenals. And
so
that's the
beautiful.
basic. But they do have it in there in that app. They have the whole shebang. since we
And
can
I
do it, the
and
whole
I
thing right
did
now.
just drop that app in the chat for you. So,
Mm,
or
thank you.
yeah, Luz gave us the resource. It's in the chat for you all if you want to learn more about tapping. And it really is like, regardless if you're spiritual or not, I do
Hmm.
not care what affiliation you have as long as you love
Yes.
humans and love yourself. Like, cool.
Amen.
Do your thing. But energy is real in your body. Again,
Hmm.
scientifically proven. So these things can really help you. And then just getting into your body and out of your mind can be so helpful. We have
Hmm.
one question in the chat, Luz. And we have to keep it short. We maybe have like 1 or 2 minutes, but Chris asks, what should someone expect from a call with a guide? Is this the same as finding a therapist to talk to about something, or is this something different? Do you want to? I can answer it, but if you want to answer it, please by all means.
We can tag team it if you
Okay,
want. I can talk from both experience, from experience of a user and as a guide. It's
perfect.
kind of like a conversation for me. Like it's a sacred space. It's a space where you know you're not gonna have judgment, or it's not as structured as a therapy session. If what you mean by if it's like when you try to find a therapist, if you can make calls with different guides, absolutely. If you call me and we don't gel in the call, you can contact somebody else. I won't be offended or sad or hurt. You can actually ask me for recommendations. I can tell you who I have spoken to. So it's just similar. It's somewhere you can really air. I feel like when we, in my experience, when you talk to a therapist, it's kind of like so structured that you don't feel like you can be yourself. It's not like that at all to talk to a guy, and it's more like talking with an experienced friend. Is the way I
Yes.
see it. Somebody that has gone through what you're going through, that can give you the pointers from their perspective. That's that's how I see it anyway.
Exactly. And it's not clinical is the thing. Like
Right.
the
Hmm.
way that life guides work is it's real people who have been through real experiences and can give you real advice. So you'll hear about their stories. You'll hear what they've gone through.
Yes.
And I use this example of like imagine being in the middle of nowhere and trying to find your way home. It might be pretty hard. But if you've got Google Maps, it's going to tell you, okay, that road's closed. Okay, if you go that way, you're going to
Yeah.
hit a dead end. That's what your guide is, right? Because a lot of us are walking through life just figuring it out and lone wolfing it. I lone wolf really hard. Drop
Hmm.
333 in the chat if you also lone wolf really hard. Um, and one of our guides just posted this in the chat as well. He says, the member brings the agenda. My favorite part as a guide is connecting on a
Yes.
topic a member needs a set of eyes from someone who's not family, not a friend,
Right.
those who literally judge us the hardest. So it's just that unbiased perspective from someone who's gone through similar things in life and can help you
Yes.
grow. So I'm dropping a link in the chat. This is coming to the end of our conversation. We've got 60 seconds, so I'll keep it short and sweet so
Ooh.
Luz can have a final comment. But I did drop a link in the chat on July 22nd at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. I am hosting a new webinar monthly. It doesn't have a set time or cadence or anything yet. We're beta testing this quarter. We get to figure it out. But it's called the Life Guides Experience. What is Life Guides? And it is answering all of these questions because, this is a quick 30-minute conversation. We don't even have enough time right now to talk about all the things that we want
Yeah.
to. And a lot of you ask for longer sessions. We do have one longer session a month. And that is our Leading in Love session. All of our branding for that is going to change next quarter. It's probably going to be called the Deep Dive. So keep your eye out for that. But we do have live mentorship specifically for self love this Wednesday with Yvette. She was on our larger session last week. That mentorship link is in the chat right now. This is not for everyone. This is for people who want to do the work. This is for people who want real change. You can register for it, you can show up for it, but we will be expecting you to have your camera on to speak. If you can't, it's perfectly fine, but it's an interactive session. It's group mentorship where we're all getting vulnerable and real together and talking about our struggles with self-love and where we want to grow. So, it's not for the faint of heart, but it is for those who are really wanting to do the work and put in that work and get those results out and meet the guides and have more of that experience, maybe without the one-on-one call. So I'm going to drop Luz's life guide link in the chat one more time for you if you'd like to schedule a call with her and you've liked what we've talked about. There it is in the chat. And yeah, do you have any final remarks before we officially close this out?
Love yourself. You're awesome. Thank you for having me. This was great. And I hope to see you guys on a call. It's great. It's great to see you want to grow. That's like the most important part is that you want to do this and you owe this to yourself. You're the only you have, and you're the best you there is. There's nobody like you anywhere.
That's love, baby. That's
Love
love.
yourself. I forgive you. I forgive you. Whatever it is you're dragging along, I forgive you. God forgives you. Whatever you call this great spirit forgives you. They don't hold
Mm,
grudges. It's alive. They don't hold grudges. They love you.
exactly. You're loved. If you don't know how loved you are, tell yourself you love yourself right now, right here. And we will see you on
Yes.
Wednesday for our live mentorship call. And then we'll see you next Monday for our Motivational Monday session. Sending you all lots and lots of love. We'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.